We are in Pangarh Lake. It's a beautiful place. I've known this place for almost 30 years. This whole area belonged to the Mewar dynasty of Chittorgarh. And so my friend Rao's family lived here on top of a hill where we'll be going later, in this beautiful fort. From there you could have a fantastic view of the lake. Rao has converted this into a mini retreat, and he's built some sort of houses on stilts right on the lake. This lake was dredged and made deeper. It used to attract, I would say, 1 million of migrating Siberian birds. All the birds, the big ducks used to fly all the way from Siberia to come here in the winter. There used to be a lot of fish, and he had a lot of lotus plants. Now somehow the local villagers felt disturbed, and they started poisoning the fish, and the birds stopped coming. And of course, due to the Afghan war, there was a lot of, so the migratory path got disturbed. So we don't see the birds. This time around it would be like a carpet, and there would be a continuous humming of the birds. It was wonderful. We used to trek from Castle Bijaypur through the forest. It was about 17 kilometers trek, and come here for picnic lunch and then go back by jeep. And I love this place because it's very peaceful. I have trekked through this area across those valley, and we have stopped here for overnight break. We set up tents, and we used to swim in the lake. It was so refreshing. And I'm going to show you a little bit of history of this fort and a few other interesting things. But I had a wonderful time whenever I came here. And by the way, I celebrated my 60th birthday here. We had an all-night tribal party. The theme was tribal. Friends came from Europe and other places, and we had the tribal dances, tribal songs. Many of us were dressed in tribal clothes, and we had a wonderful time because I love this area. So this was my choice. This is a fertility temple. Now it's dedicated to the monkey god Hanuman. Now just imagine, infertile women, they come here, they do all sorts of prayers, they burn wood there, and they do prayers, they sing songs and all that, praying to the god for a baby. So they take this home. This is the monkey male organ, shaped like this. So they take one of these and put this under the bed, right? And they mate, and if you are successful in producing an offspring, then you make a new one and bring it back. So this is how the cycle goes on. So this needs to be taken by somebody. And look, these are the people who had children from this ritual, the colored ones. There are 3 of them here, so at least 3 have had babies. They keep them for a while, then they bring new people come, and this is their faith. They're having babies from this sort of ritualistic treatments. It's amazing. You have the wild aloe vera growing here, and I get the aloe vera from this area, this plateaued area, grows widely because it's very special. Now if I just show you, break one of these, very thorny here, and you break this, it's greenish yellow in color. Oh, sorry. We break one of these, it's greenish yellow in color, and if you smell it, it smells of sulfur. So this aloe vera plant has been taking in minerals. These volcanic rocks have had a lot of sulfur in it, and this aloe vera, instead of having a greenish or greyish sap, has yellow sap. So we use this for the skin. In my rejuvenation program, which is called time reversal program, we use this for the skin. Of course we use it for various other medicinal purpose, but its main use is on the skin, and this sulfur, it just smells so divine, It all comes from here, this area. I'm in front of a Sati memorial. There was an ancient Indian practice that if the husband died, the wife had nothing to live for. So she would come and jump on the funeral pyre and kill herself at the same time. Of course, there were a lot of rituals preparing her mind to commit suicide, sort of self-immolation. Now, there was a war in this area. I was talking about the fort. They were attacked by the enemies. They killed 1,200 people. So in this area, you have approximately 1,200 Sati memorial. So you have 2 memorials. I can't call them graves because they were cremated. So the right side was the male person who died, and on the left was the wife who jumped into the fire and killed herself. And this practice was, of course, later on abolished, but it was practiced. And I'll show you in the other village how they used to have these memorials side by side. It's a sad thing, but this is what happened in ancient India. practice of sati, where the wife jumps into the funeral pyre, during cremation, and dies with her husband, has been going on for thousands of years. This is an example. It is very next to the village, and here is an example of a sati memorial. It's not a grave. So they have made steps for people to go, and during festival time offer them the local alcohol, offer them food. So you have the two of them. The lady is in a dancing pose, where the husband, the man, is going to war. He's a valiant man, and he's sitting on a horse with a sword and going to war. But then he must have been killed, and his wife also killed herself at the same time. You can say it's a very cruel practice, ritual, which was banned later on. But this is how people lived. This was their tradition. A widow cannot marry again, and if her children didn't look after her, should be uncared for. So she, does this ritual. There's so many of these memorials here. Life goes on.